Previously I had mentioned that FBX files are the ultimate file type to use. Well, in this particular instance, we're actually going to need an OBJ file. So I will export this first as an OBJ, and that's because once it is exported, we're going to use it in a software known as Instant Mesh, which is going to help us optimize this model really quickly via its auto optimization. It's going to take a moment to export, and Instant Mesh will come actually as a zip file. Here I have it on the top of my screen. To access this, you do not unzip it. This is a strange one. You actually just open the zip file and say, no, I don't want to buy WinRAR, and then you open the Instant Mesh exe, and this will bring you into this Instant Mesh UI. To use it, you hit Open Mesh, and you'll notice it can only do POI and OBJ files. And I'm going to open my OBJ file. This is a large mesh with a high polygon count, so you'll have to be a bit patient. But what this will do is effectively retopologize the entire mesh. Another way to think about this is that it is smartly decimating the mesh. It is going to remove polygons, but it's going to do it in a more artful way than most default polygon reduction methods, which will allow us to use the mesh in other methods and other techniques without as many polygons. Here's our character model. He's pretty large. To use this software, it's very simple, and there are only 3 steps. First, you hit the Solve button here. This is going to basically analyze the surface and pick the points. Then you'll hit the Position Field Solver, which is then going to start showing you some of the new topology, which does look much cleaner than previously. Now that that's done, all you have to do is hit the Export Mesh, but you need to hit this button here first, which then will apply these and generate a new mesh. And here you're previewing your new mesh, which this looks good. Then you need to save. This is a little strange. To save this, you have to actually type .obj, which is a little frustrating, but for what this tool does, totally worth it. So you save, and now you have a cleaned, reduced mesh, which you can continue to work with if you'd like, or you can use for bringing into Unreal Engine or other platforms. Here are the 2 meshes side by side. The one on the left is the high poly mesh, and the one on the right is the lower poly mesh. And yes, you can see the polygons in the right mesh, but if you were to use this for rendering or otherwise, you would not see it nearly as dramatically as it seems here, especially if you're in Blender or another software and you shade smooth. This will hide all of those changes, and now if I hide my other mesh, you'll see that this is actually only 500,000 faces, and this is 8 million.